Hello, everybody, and welcome to what I'm sure you all have been waiting for. This is Yeah, We Read It. My name is Laura. I am one of your hosts,
My name is Meggie. I am the other host.
and we are clocking in to discuss The City of Heavenly Fire, Cassandra Clare's final book in the original Mortal Instruments, original Shadowhunter series. We did it, Maggie. We read thousands of pages to get to this point.
No, when you say it like that, it reminds me of how much time we've wasted on these
I
books and my
Whew.
life. My life,
This
I'm never
book,
going to get
listeners,
back.
clocked in at like 720 something pages, which is a lot. It's a lot for a YA book.
It was so much. I had to read it on my Kindle because the library, it never came off hold for me, which is
That's because
who
it takes
is
too long to read. So whoever has it can't finish it.
that is true. They've just had it for a year. It was exciting though because I figured out how to get free EPUB books sent to my Kindle. So if you guys want that as a little tip, you have to email us, Meggie and Laura present at
Yeah.
gmail.com, putting it in the first 2 minutes. And I will tell you how to get free books on your Kindle.
Hell yeah. And then you can ask me about my engagement since nobody has done that all fucking season.
Exactly. We're getting it. We're promoting it now. So you actually follow through
We'll
and do it.
jailbreak Kindle to talk about ourselves.
We'll jailbreak Kindle, period. And this is the 6th, 7th, 8th, could be any book, I don't really know, in this series, The City of Heavenly Fire. What happened at the end of the last book? Wow, thank you for
Oh God, that's such a crazy question. Like, I did notes today. I didn't even think about like what happened at the end of the last book.
Jace gets the heavenly fire in him because
Oh
he is
yeah.
connected to Sebastian. Sebastian is alpha, Laura's
Yes.
alpha in our relationship. If you guys also want to know that, I'm beta. That would make me Jace. Clary stabs Jace, and Jace absorbs the heavenly fire. So now he's the weapon that has to
Yeah.
kill Sebastian.
So an angel gave them a weapon. The weapon that Jace got stabbed with gave him heavenly fire. He can't touch Clary because he's too hot. He's
He's too
simply
hot.
too hot to the touch. Too much fire
Yeah.
in his. He's literally Heat Miser from The Year Without a Santa Claus. He's
Exactly.
Mr. 101.
But it's like, I just finished all of Avatar The Last Airbender. You know the firebenders are fucking. I think if they can fuck,
I just
Jace can
like
fuck. It's
no one's
fine.
teaching Jace how to bend. That's the thing. Jace is a firebender in a Shadowhunter world.
He really is. Period. We figure out this book that he's a Capricorn, and I think a Capricorn is a fire sign. It's Leo. No, it's not.
I couldn't tell
Capricorn is
you.
an earth sign.
Oh,
I don't. That doesn't track for me.
that really doesn't make sense. And speaking of things not making sense, listeners, do we have some plot points in this book that I'm going to ask a lot of questions of, like, what? Are we
That is
sure?
true. We're
There's
just
a lot
gonna
of things
dive right
that for
in.
me just like didn't really add up as like the kind of big climactic end of all of the stories. So I'm very excited to get into this with you, Meggie, because like I'm very annoyed.
This felt like a time she should just be writing a play because the amount of monologues in here. Oh my god.
And it's like, you know how like when people like over accessorize, like the advice is like, look at yourself in the mirror and take like one thing off before you leave the house. It kind
Yeah.
of feels like that should apply to this book. It's like, maybe let's just take like one little story out, because we're dealing with like so many side stories that ultimately don't build up to anything, in my humble opinion.
No, they really don't. And my disclaimer for this episode, again, like last episode, the notes are going to be so loose, and I'm not
Loose.
sure we knew how to take them, so we're gonna do our best.
We're going to do our best. We're going to start with the prologue, which is that we're clocking into the LA Institute, because there's institutes all over the world. And there's these ragtag group of preteens and teens training at the Institute. Screaming is heard, and it's revealed that Sebastian is turning all of the adults in the Institute with his fancy new cup. And Emma and Julian are these little besties, and they escape through a portal because the Clave is sounding the alarms. They're transporting people out of the institutes that are being attacked.
Setup. We go back to New York. Jace is trying this new little hobby he has called meditating with Jordan, now that his skeleton is just essentially fire. So he needs to relax because his bones are fire.
I do love that, like, the theme of, like, well, you're really stressed if you have the heavenly fire in you. And it's like, isn't it supposed to be heavenly? Like, I feel like he'd be even more zen, actually.
Exactly. When you be calm, it's like, oh my god, all of the power of heaven is within me. And I
Yeah.
think of zen when you think of heaven or
Yeah.
lightness or
I don't think
anything.
Raziel would be doing such a horrible thing, giving us such a horrible gift. He gave us a beautiful gift from the gods. Thank you.
Exactly. The person who actually has a lot on their plate and is stressed out is Alec, who is extremely sad. He's been dumped by Magnus, and everyone also agrees that Sebastian is coming back to probably try to get Clary and be back with his sister. You know how it goes. He wants to date his sister. He's going to do
Yeah.
anything to date his sister.
Ugh. And speaking of stress, Simon and Clary are undergoing the stress of going Christmas shopping, which isn't going to play out. We don't get a big Christmas in this book at all, unfortunately, which I kind of thought like, oh, it's Christmas time. We're going to build up to some sort of Christmas moment. No, don't get attached to this.
Nope.
There's an emergency meeting at the Institute, which breaks everybody from all their various types of stress because they have something new to deal with. And basically, we learn that there's attacks all over the world at every single institute, and every Shadowhunter is being called back to Idris, where they can all be accounted for.
Yes, exactly. So they are getting ready to portal, minus Simon. He's going to stay back. He hasn't finished his Christmas shopping just yet. So that's what he's going to be doing. And everyone's big on defining what they are before they go. What is Magnus and Alec? Still broken up. What's Simon and Isabelle? We don't know, but they're going to define the relationship 600 pages in.
Yeah,
Pretty
she
far
gives
in.
him a necklace. They say bye. That they're at the gift giving level. Magnus's and Alec's goodbye is so. I hate hot and cold shit like this because they kiss and Magnus is like, I can't be with you. And it's like, fuck off, dude. Like, don't do that. He's so sad. You're toying with him.
I know, he's so sad to the point that Jace had shown up to his house to convince him to get back together with Alec. And you know Jace is a very proud boy.
Yeah,
He's
and
not
Jace
gonna do that.
Jace also did break Alec's phone. So like Jace is really playing both sides.
I know Jace is also, I can never tell what his motive is. It seems like it's martyrdom and feel bad for me so I can get attention.
Can you be a martyr if you're a sad boy? The ultimate question that the Shadowhunters series tries to answer.
That is the thesis of this series.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's just
the answer
I don't think they
shock
can.
you.
Will shock you, and it's I don't think they can.
And I don't think they can.
In Idris, Clary, Luke, and Jocelyn are going to post up at Amadis's house. Friendly reminder that Amadis, she is one of the Undarkened soldiers under Sebastian's rule right now, so she is not in the picture. But luckily, she left her house open for them.
She left her house open. Anyone's going in. Sebastian even dropped his baby box there that we thought disappeared with the house at the end of the book, last book.
Yeah.
No. He had the baby box that he just lorded over, and he left
yeah.
it there for Jocelyn to find at Amantis's house. And is it because he's targeting her? That's what it kind of seems like.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Clave's gonna do what the Clave loves, which is have a meeting. They're obsessed with those. And everybody in the Hall of Accords is gonna listen to the two children from the LA Institute basically tell them what happened with Sebastian at the LA Institute. It's bad. That's like the summary here. It's like the Institute attack was bad and Sebastian is bad.
The Clave, what I love about the Clave is they are so adamant about taking kids seriously. You're going to hold the mortal sword. You're going to tell us the truth. And then when they hear the truth, which is you can't kill Sebastian, Emma tried to throw something at his heart. They go, no. We don't like that answer. It doesn't align with our reality. Try again. They're so obsessed with getting an answer. They're never going to get the right answer. So stop asking these kids.
The Clave really putting the emphasis in C-suite. That's what the C-suite stands for. Clave.
And if there's one thing about C-suite executives that I know, they love to gaslight. They
love to just be like, I don't like that answer. Can you retry? Can we do something different? What can we do about this?
Exactly, because in their minds, Sebastian can die because Jace has that heavenly fire in him. That's how they're going to kill him. Or there's this thing called the spiritual labyrinth, which is where all the warlocks hang out. Fun as fuck. They're trying to undo the devil cup that Sebastian has that turns everyone crazy. But they're not gonna really find a weapon for it, but
And
they're working
what
on
we get is a wonderful moment here is Clary's going to go hang out at the Lightwoods after this meeting so they can break down everything that we just read that happened in the meeting, which I was like, why are we doing this after the fact? We just read it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. Meanwhile, back in New York in Alphabet City at Mr. Jordan's apartment, the Undarkened attack him. They are trying to get to Simon. They have Simon jump out a window, but it seems like the vampire clan of New York is going to actually be the ones that are going to kidnap him, and he gets taken anyways.
That's kind of a bummer that he was really attacked on all sides. It was like Undarkened in the front, vampires in the back. It was a lose-lose situation.
Hopefully they hit up Macy's department store on the way, because again, this guy
taking Simon away, and he's like, "Wait, no, please! I didn't finish my Christmas shopping."
He's like, "Wait, no, actually, if I'm one of the first 100 in the store today by 7 a.m., I get a snow globe. I get a gift card. Can we hit it up on the way uptown?"
Well, we get a scene of Jace and Clary making out in the alley, as much as they can, because a reminder, he has the heavenly fire in him, and it's crazy to make out with him with the heavenly fire in his
She's like digmatized, being like, "You can actually kiss me more," and he goes, "Look behind you," and there's just his hands are burned into the wall where he was kissing her.
And she's like, "And keep going."
And oh my god, light me up from the inside, daddy. Like, what do you want from me?
We get huge confirmation that the Fairy Queen and Sebastian are fucking.
Speaking of sexy couples, I mean, that's crazy.
Honestly, kind of love this for Sebastian, because the Fairy Queen is not his sister.
I love that. Such a big step up for Sebastian.
Yeah.
I also love that they are attracted to each other because they do not trust each other. Two avoidance together at last.
Exactly. And they're talking about the kid that they abducted from the LA Institute and like what to do with him. They're like, I don't know, we could put him in the Wild Hunt, we could make him a soldier. We don't really know. We just took him. We don't really know what to do with him.
Their banter is amazing, because someone will come in, one of her guards will come in to talk to her, and she won't even put on a robe. She's like, "I'm going to talk to you butt-ass naked." And then also she lets Sebastian attack the London Institute. She's like, "Baby, I love your bloodlust. Go after the little London Institute."
They're like, what should we attack next? Maya and Jordan, meanwhile, are going to go find Simon, to no avail. They have no idea where the fuck he is. And Simon is now going to wake up in a cage.
He's living a Wattpad dream. He's got a billowing pirate shirt on. He's got leather pants. Maureen, the little 13-year-old groupie who is obsessed with being his, quote, girlfriend, the same way I was when Harry Styles was in One Direction, didn't know me, she's gonna make him a necklace of teeth. Okay.
Yeah, really? Honestly, I have to give Cassandra Clare kudos where kudos is due. This was probably one of the most interesting things to happen in this book, and I'm mad it's so short and didn't play out in any way, shape, or form.
I know. One day you're in there, you're in a Wattpad series, the next day.
God, yeah, this book needs to give me a little sprinkle of the Wattpad. Come on, please. Okay, this is crazy, because Maya and Jordan, as they're looking for Simon, they're gonna go to the Praetor Lupus. As we know, they're like the all high power wolves, and the entire structure is burned down, and all of the wolves are floating in the water, burnt to a crisp. So like, we don't see it at all. We just have come up on the aftermath. Like they're donezo.
And Jordan is, I imagine it's someone who comes up from behind him. The sword goes through his chest. He's killed by Sebastian in a way that is so confusing, I must add, that the chapter kind of ends with Sebastian even reminding Maya, "Your boyfriend's dead, by the way."
Yeah, I read it like 6 times when like he was getting stabbed, and then I do love that it like Sebastian, I think Cassandra Clare knew it was confusing, so she had to be like, "He's dead, by the way." Just say that in the text. You didn't have to tell me that.
I know, my note literally says, "Oh wait, shit, so he fully killed him," because I didn't understand.
Yeah, and I also thought like, oh, he's like bleeding, but like he's not dead, and then it's like, oh, he's dead. So it was confusing.
They're always getting stabbed in the chest. That's nothing. They're still alive every book.
And my favorite thing about this scene, and I think what also made it so confusing, is that he's telling Maya after he stabs Jordan like the longest revenge quest monologue, and he's like, "You better not forget this. You have to tell everyone my vengeance plan." And she remembers all of it, crazy enough, but it's like 3 paragraphs of bullshit. So
It's really long. Well, her boyfriend is just bleeding out and
yeah.
dying, I suppose. Magnus is complaining to a friend of his about being in love with Alec. His friend is the warlock representative on the council and basically implores that he take her position on the council, go be an Idris, go track down your boyfriend.
Um
And he's also at a werewolf bar, and the bartender gets a call about how Sebastian is attacking downworlders now because he is saying that they side with the Shadowhunters. Oh, if they're going to be allies, then you're a target as well too. So he's trying to sow some tension between the two people, the two sides.
yeah, then we get every single point of view in this book learning about the attacks in London that happen. They're not successful because like London was kind of preparing for like Sebastian's attack. So not important, just everybody learns about it in a different way. And then Clary goes and gets a sword at a shop in Idris for free.
Amazing. It's great that she got it too in the nick of time because now the war alarms are going off outside the
Yeah.
Adamant Citadel, which I believe is where the Iron Sisters live.
Yes.
That is being attacked because obviously they're trying to make a weapon to defeat Sebastian. So they're portaling shadow hunters through to the Citadel who
Oof.
are going to fight the Undarkened because they don't realize that they're so much stronger than the shadow hunters, and also they're just going to be tricked because it's like all their loved ones have been turned. You're going to see them, you're going to
Yeah.
think they're good, they're going to murder you.
Yeah, Jace and Clare are like, guys, it's a trap. And no, like all of the Shadowhunters are thinking, like, no, no, no. When my like brother sees me, he's gonna remember who I am. So it's a lot of miscommunication on all sides. And they're begging Mr. Lightwood, who's Isabelle and Alec's dad, to like not do this, not send people there. And Mr. Lightwood fucking sucks, so he is.
Mhm.
So Clary and Jace, two little martyrs themselves, they're gonna go through this portal and fight as well.
They get there, and Darkened are attacking everyone but Clary. Clary realizes that Sebastian has told them they can't attack her. He really wants to kiss his sister. So she is drawing a portal back to Idris. She's realizing this is just a trap. They're not going to get anywhere. But a mantis accosts her, brings her to Sebastian as Jace is attacking. A mantis is actually distracted by this. So Clary could technically kill her, but she isn't going to kill a mantis. She's just going to let her
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, Jace is able to take out the Undarkened with his heavenly fire. Clary's able to get free. And basically, yeah, big fight. The Iron Sisters end up also protecting Jace because he gets like wounded in this. And then Sebastian does what Sebastian does best and he vanishes. Only this time it's by tearing a hole in the ground, in the earth, and jumping through it. And the rest of the Undarkened also jump through the crack into the earth. So that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy nut stuff. Isabelle is having a perfectly normal reaction to the fact that Jason Clary went through the hole. Her and Alec didn't. She is actually so mad at her dad that she's going to blow up his spot and just tell him that she knows he cheated on mom. And
Yeah.
Alec overhears this.
Whoops.
Oops.
And another fun little side plot here. Raphael has freed Simon from his cage and is going to bring him to Idris with him because he thinks he could use his help. As they come to Idris, it's not really declared that they go through a portal, I don't think. Maybe it is.
I'm not sure how they get there. I just know he
No.
needs his help being like, Marine is crazy to the
Yeah,
console.
exactly. But anyway, Isabelle finds them immediately. What I've learned in this book series is Idris is small as hell.
Mhm.
And we learned that Magnus is also in Idris. So really everybody's just kind of showed up at Idris all at once. So
There is a point, I don't know if it's Idris that Simon compares it to, but he brings up Amsterdam being like one of these cities, and that made me
Oh,
be like, oh, I could see that.
that would
Amsterdam's
make more
pretty
sense.
small. Yeah. So Sebastian shows up while they're still fighting, I guess, tells Jace that he better not hurt him, or Amantis somehow gets Clary back under her control. She's like, I'm going to cut her head off. And then Jace and Sebastian fight. Sebastian stabs him, but since he has the fire, it burns Sebastian.
I'm already past
You're
this
already
scene.
way past that.
Yeah, I already went through Sebastian jump through his crack in the earth.
Period. Honestly, I think I glazed out a little bit. So okay, so Jace is hurt though. and he needs his wounds fixed. So a silent
For
brother,
sure.
Zachariah, is drawing like a rune to fix his wound, but then he catches fire on fire too from the heavenly fire. Everyone's catching on fire from Jace. Jesus.
He's simply too hot. He can't be helped. Um, Isabelle does get Simon some new clothes because she decides he's not allowed to be dressed like a romantic book cover.
Oh my god, but they start hooking up and they're doing like role play. It's crazy. They're literally like Bridgerton role play almost. And Alec
Yeah,
walks in on them and is like, "Why are you hooking up in my bed? And why
in
is he
my
wearing my
clothes.
clothes?" So weird. There's so much just
It's
thinly veiled
There's
incest.
so much weird stuff in this. But they break it up when they learn that Jason and Clary are injured and they need to go help. Luke also just like drops in passing to Simon, like, "Oh, hey, Simon, you're here. Jordan died." So
Yeah.
that's a bummer.
Oops, that's a bummer. Simon is not doing well either, so eventually he is going to need to get blood.
Yes.
Yes.
We do get one crazy cutaway scene here of like Maya processing like the death of Jordan, but it's not really processing the death of Jordan. It's her telling her friend Bat that she was going to dump Jordan, so this is really awkward now. And it's like, I would have loved to know in any of the past 3 books that like she wasn't all in on Jordan, because like that was never made clear to the reader.
She's like scattering his ashes at the beach, and Bat is also indicated to be an ex of hers. And I truly thought that she was gonna scatter Jordan's ashes, be like, I was gonna break up with him, and then kiss Bat, her ex. I was like, this is wild
I
direction.
I wish that would have happened, because honestly, I feel like if this is already kind of unhinged, I feel like we should have just leaned into it more.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck on top of his ashes. Just do it.
um, so we get to talk to Brother Zachariah, and he's not doing mind stuff anymore. He's talking like a normal boy because the heavenly fire somehow made him human again. Rules
Yeah.
not explained, but that's what's happened.
No, I guess he was purified of his silence. And he is explaining to Jace that he should value this gift he has. I did write down that at this point my roommate told me not to finish the book, but I mentioned to
Wow.
her that Laura is my parabatai, which is the
Parabatai.
bonded Shadowhunters in
I
here.
would have known. I would have known through our bonded connection that you didn't finish the
You would
book.
have known. You would just started having cramps. Like, ah, my gosh, I can feel that Meggie
I can feel
is
that
abandoning.
Maggie is 50% done in putting the book
Is
down.
DNFing this book on Goodreads. So, okay, back to Simon. Simon needs blood,
Yes.
unsurprisingly. That's Simon's favorite thing, is to be like borderline anorexic on this blood.
Yeah,
So
Simon has an eating disorder now, which we're
he
not
does.
talking enough about.
He's also affected by the Ozempic crisis. So
Ugh.
he goes to Raphael's house, and Raphael gives Simon blood that is laced with alcohol. And he goes through the streets having the time of his life. First of all, he has his blood, so he has his energy back. He is yelling about being in love with Isabelle. Her dad tries to wave a cross at him to stop. Simon just grabs the cross and like breaks it and is like, wrong religion, I'm Jewish. And he is trying to talk to Isabelle's dad because he is trying to talk to him about Marine, but the dad is like, you need to talk to me when you're not drunk right now.
Clary does get Simon back at Amadis's house, but Sebastian is in her room and is like, "Don't worry, I'm still in love with you."
In a pose that is, quote, meant to be seductive.
Cassandra, Clare, please elaborate.
He puts her in a binding spell, gets her arms above her head, and I have to say, not only is the pose, quote, meant to be seductive, she's also commenting on how, like, hard his body is, the sharp edges of his body pressing into her. I just wouldn't be thinking about this, I think, about my brother ever, actually. I would
Yeah,
just be like,
yeah.
and his stomach was, like, against my leg, I suppose, is like where I don't think I would be like commenting on the body. I would just be like, this is what's happening. It's so crazy to call it sharp edges or
yeah,
like his
I don't
hard
know like what
body.
the angle is here. Is it like, well, Clary's never had a brother, so she doesn't know how to interact with him? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't know. It's crazy.
We get one of the most this plot point that we're about to dive into makes virtually no sense to me, because we get hinted at earlier that there's an invitation going out to like all of the downworlder representatives and all of like the representatives for like the council of the Clave. So it's at the Seelie court with the Seelie queen and with Luke, who represents the wolves, and Raphael, who represents the vampire, and Magnus, who represents the warlock. For some reason, Jocelyn is there despite denouncing Shadowhunters at every left and turn. And now that like this invite happened and like I was put into perspective, I was like, it makes actually no sense that all of these representatives are only out of New York now, knowing that there's institutes and warlocks all over the world. That makes no fucking sense. And also in book 5, Clary learns that the Seelie Queen has been listening to her via the golden rings that are magical and working with Sebastian, and she didn't tell anybody, so they're all just there trusting her. None of this adds up.
Well, I don't know how to answer number 2, but number 1, obviously New York is the epicenter of the world, so it would make sense that actually no one else is allowed. No one is allowed but New York, I suppose. But I understand you probably saying that because you're not from New York. I've been here 3 years.
Yeah, so you're from New York now, Meggie,
so
for sure.
I'm fully from I've actually never been to the Midwest. I've never heard of her before.
Yeah, right.
So they're at this Seelie court where their fairy party. I don't know why in general they trust fairies, because I feel like they are so
like this
elusive.
makes no fucking sense, because like the whole thing is like you're not supposed to eat or drink anything in the fairy realm ever, because then you'll owe them something. And then they get invited to a dinner and they're like, what a great idea.
Did you think this was crazy too? Because all of a sudden this book is that the fairies can't lie. But then like the second book, the fairies were all about trickery.
Yeah.
So what is it? I don't understand.
I just feel like this is a lapse in world building, where it's just kind of like we're gonna write what fits the narrative and we're not gonna explain it, because like a lot of this just doesn't add up with what we've read previously and what we know.
I know, it's crazy.
Look at, why the fuck is Jocelyn there? She doesn't represent anything.
I know. Was Luke the only one to get a +1? And also, was she just like, it's baffling to me that she wouldn't stay with her kid if she's so fucking concerned about her child.
Exactly. Like, why would any of them go knowing what's going on with Sebastian right now? Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't all have a dinner right now.
So they go anyways to, I guess, discuss how they are going to deal with Sebastian. Shocker, they all get drugged by what they're drinking.
They're all prisoners now in the fairy court. We didn't see that coming. Clary and Sebastian are now fighting. She can't comment on his hard body while they're sparring, I guess.
But she does say, quote, the artist in her finds him beautiful. To like draw, I suppose. And he is like, if you come with me, I'll give you mercy, which is, the mercy is just allowing her to exist as is. Otherwise, he's going to turn everyone she loves and darken. So there's not really any chance, opportunity to get out of this.
Jace arrives for like what reason we don't know. He just, I guess, knew something was up. And he's getting in on the action, and basically he's like yelling at Sebastian, like, you better get on out of here. The Clave's on its way. So Sebastian's like, okay. And Sebastian leaves before the Clave can get there.
Yeah, Sebastian not only portals away, he stabs himself as a means of showing, I guess he can't.
Yeah. I wrote Sebastian stabs himself in my notes, and I was like, did that happen, right? Because it makes no sense.
In my notes, probably for attention. So
we also get, and I just have to mention this because this pissed me off to no end.
Are we gonna go to the next scene? Okay, yeah.
I'm going to the wolf scene. Are you mad at this too? Because
I didn't write this one down.
I wrote this one down because it pissed me off, because I was like, who the fuck are these people? We cut away to like the wolf leadership while Luke is away for some reason. God. And Bat's in charge while Luke is away. And then we get to introduce to this guy, Rufus, who's like, I need to challenge Bat for the leadership. And it's pages of this that make no sense. It doesn't do anything for the plot. And then he's about to kill Bat, and then Maya challenges Rufus like mid-battle to like take over the leadership. And it's like, what purpose did this serve? Like,
yeah, I'm so happy you got this out of the way now. So that's exactly what happened. So just to summarize it all up, Maya's going to be in charge of New York while Luke is gone. That's how that whole thing ends, because it's so frustrating.
And to put this into perspective, listeners, because we cut in and out of these scenes so frequently, Rufus initially challenges him on page 271, and this only wraps up as a plot point on page 326.
It's so wild.
I'm infuriated. This is crazy.
Clary and Jace finally have a moment where Clary decides to come clean to Jace about the almost attempted rape Sebastian committed on her.
I was kind of baffled she didn't tell him about this before. I thought she would have told this about him like a while ago before we
I
got here.
I don't know if she was just like, now's not the time. He has been possessed for most of the last book, and then I what there was so much time in the intro.
That's what I'm saying. That's
You
what
could
I'm
be like,
saying.
hey, now that you've kind of calmed down, we figured out the heavenly fire is a thing now. My brother tried
Yeah.
to rape me and it was crazy.
Yeah, maybe, hey, now that we can't kiss, maybe this is a good thing so I can actually process the trauma from my situation that happened with my brother while you were possessed by him.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to criticize, but I'm going to. Like, the rape was like went over so fast, swept under the rug so fast, which was my complaint last book. And then we're bringing it up now, and I get it, but there has been no change to her personality as if this impacted her. Like, if she was like quicker to like battle, or like I don't know, had a drinking problem, or like
Yeah,
anything to be like,
Clary
yeah, I
is
have trauma.
unfortunately Clary is kind of giving, oh yeah, this weird thing happened to me at work the other day. Like that's not the same level of
That's exactly what it is. It's like, oh my god, by the way, I forgot to tell you, like,
oh yeah,
he
I never
met.
told you about this crazy thing that happened the other day. Like no, that's a crazy thing that happened the other day. That's horrible.
I know. Jace is like, I'm gonna kill him. I don't know how to comfort you, and says something that she's like, that was the right words. And then they fall asleep cuddling on the couch.
And the consul can get into Amadis's house as well because it's open, and they wake them up, which I thought was so weird. Like, is it just like six people being like, "Hey, Jace, hey, Clary, can you guys come with us?"
We need to get this woman like a blink camera or a lock.
Yeah,
Heaven forbid.
they're like, "Oh, hey, we needed to wake you guys up." So no one came back from that weirdly suspicious fairy dinner that only 3 people were invited.
So they have a meeting. They're going to call everyone. There is angel's blood written in front of the downworlder seats that says, I've come. So we're going to assume that Sebastian put that in angel blood. And an Endarken pops up behind the consul leader who's trying to figure out what to do. And the Endarken, get right to the point, I'm going to kill the consul if you don't give me Clary and Jace.
Yeah, he's like, I will give you the people we abducted at the fairy dinner we tricked them into attending if you give us Clary and Jace. And you have 2 days to decide. So everyone's like, we're going to have a meeting about this.
And he is like, by the way, once we kill them, all of the downworlders are going to turn on you guys and blame it on you.
Yeah.
So maybe you should think about giving up the 2 kids.
Yeah, and then the Silent Brothers walk in and are like, hey guys, just an update. All of our magic things that we tried, we can't reverse the Endarkened. They're trapped, so... And then we don't really dive into this at all, which I thought this should be like a huge revelation that like, wow, this is permanent. But it's very much just like, yep, it's permanent. Next thing.
The next plot point, where they're going to go, the guidance they're going to get is going to be from Emma, the 12-year-old from the LA Institute, who is now just being shuffled into this plot. So
and
Emma,
she's actually grieving. Her parents are dead, so she's actually batshit crazy right now, which makes perfect sense.
She is, and she's 12, and she goes, I heard them saying they were taking my friend Mark to some place called Edom. And they're like, listen, we know about Edom. Edom is hell in the Bible. And she goes, no, the way they talked about it sounded like a physical place. So they're like, maybe this is the demon realm. And we're going to get introduced to demon realm, a whole new concept in the last book.
Yeah, do you guys want to talk about different dimensions now? Because that's what the main plot of this book is now on page 335. And don't worry, because everybody knows about the demon realm now that it's been mentioned to the audience one time. Jace is like, oh yeah, the demon realm? A single path to it exists through the Sealy Court. We can go that way.
And so remember when earlier Laura said, hey, why didn't Clary tell anyone about we don't trust the fairy queen, we don't trust the fairy court, she listens to my rings, she is working with Sebastian. She also doesn't tell her friends this. They're gonna go to the fairy court and there is no danger that she wants to alert people to.
Yeah, like is Clary just like bad at reading the room or like understanding what's going on? Like,
she's reading it like a really funny tweet that I saw that I'm like, oh my god, fuck, I want to tell my friends about this, so I'm scrolling for hours and I can't find it, and I'm like, I guess it wasn't that important.
I feel like she gets there and she went, oh, you meant this fairy court. Yeah, this one's the one that's been eavesdropping. Like, as if there's different people that
because
exist.
as we know, there's only, everything is in New York, and there's only one fairy court, and it is in New York. It is Central Park.
And Jace is going to do what Jace does best. He's going to try and convince everyone that he needs to go do this by himself.
Yeah, and they all are like, no, you're not going to, and he agrees to let them come. And that speech is going to happen, I think, 3 more times in this book.
Yeah. For some reason, we really need to hit on the head that Jace really wants to go by himself. They all sneak into the Seelie court easily. So fast.
Oh, and you're never going to believe this. When they get there, they basically overhear the fairy queen indicate she's aligned with Sebastian, which is why he and his gang can travel so fast and far. And they overhear the gang, like, just kind of scooting around. So they're going to have to attack the fairies, because the fairies are like, why are you here uninvited?
Yeah, and instead of them being like, hey, maybe we should take this news back to the consul, they're like, hey, we heard what you said, and we know you have our friends as prisoners. And then it's like they just kind of all shout at each other, and the queen is like, fine, you can use my road to the demon realm if you guys get the fuck out.
I know, she relents so easily. Also, I love this because Alec is so pissed that he doesn't know where Magnus is. He kills Meliorn, who is the queen's right-hand man, basically. And Clary locks the room with a rune so no one can get in. So the queen is going to show them the way to the demon realm. Jace makes her swear not to tell Sebastian, but obviously she's going to.
Yeah,
pinky fingers.
And Jace is like, and I'm going to take your word for it this time. Like, come on, we all know better. As they're like going into, like, what I imagine is the lobby to the path to the, like, the demon realm, the path to the demon realm.
What do you think the music is in the demon realm lobby?
Oh, I feel like it has to be just standard, like, elevator music, right?
I think this is not to say I don't like Olivia Dean, but I think it's just Man I Need by Olivia Dean on repeat, and you're like, I really like this at first, but it's such a good song that you like that eventually it just becomes something you hate and you can't escape.
Where it's that sound down by the early 2000s, the down,
and it's just down from that. They don't have any verses. It's just the down section, and you're always waiting for the verse.
Full chorus, and then it's the bridge, because the bridge is great. She gets down.
And then it's also You Oughta Know is looped for 1 hour. You oughta know. And then you're like, when does the song start? You don't know what time it is.
Yeah, I like that it shifts by loops for certain songs. and then the Olivia Dean song plays for a single year. So you really
I really like this hell that we've created. I think it's really beautiful.
I'm really, really impressed with us. And this guy Mark is like, it sucks, I'm in the wild hunt now. They're like, but how did you get here to talk to us? He's like, I escaped for a little bit. They're like, that's okay.
And we're supposed to be familiar with the wild hunt, I guess.
They never showed up before. Once the last book where we were introduced to this concept. We haven't talked about it enough.
And it seems like there are people who are supposed to be really people are terrified of, but they just collect the dead. So I kind of just saw them as like neutral.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of was just like, I guess are we supposed to feel like bad for this guy? I don't really know.
I don't know.
But they're basically like, you do you, Mark. We're going this way.
They really do. He's like, can you get me out of here? And they're like, nah, but you actually could do something super cool. Can you get word back to the Clave that the fairies are coming? Awesome.
We're not going to do that. We're busy.
They rub his head. He's like malnourished.
Yeah, like, they give him like a pack of jelly beans they brought. They're like, here, these will hold you over, right?
Yeah, they've been in my pocket for a week, but I think you'll like them.
They're like, got this paperclip in my pocket. Would that help?
I think you could entertain yourself with the paperclip. You can make it into a lot of different shapes and sizes.
Then as they dismiss Mark from their presence because he's not a main character and he doesn't matter, they enter into the demon realm and all are immediately gifted with demon dreams.
So we write any of them down? I did.
I wrote all of them down. They're not important. Crazy. I wrote them down because I was like, surely they're going to be important. They're not. So I guess we can skip them.
That's fair. I mean, it's supposed to be their utopia, but demons don't really understand what their dreams are, so it's a little
Yeah.
off. That's
Yeah, they're
basically
a
what
little,
it is.
it's basically generative AI is like your best day ever is what they're doing as like the dreams in this book.
So true.
Everybody, yeah.
The only important dream is Alex, where Magnus shows up and is like, "This is a dream. You need to fight it." So he fights it, and then he gets the rest of them.
Yeah, and then everybody snaps out of it. They kill the demon that's causing them dreams. Jace is gonna lie and be like, I didn't have a demon dream. And everyone's like, okay, we're not gonna question that further.
I think that's such a red flag. I think if people don't have friends from their childhood, and also if they don't dream, that's crazy.
That's crazy. But we learned that he did have a dream. He's just lying to everybody.
That is true.
Anyway, we cut into our prisoners, Luke, Magnus, and Raphael, a little dream trio. Jocelyn, somewhere else. But these three are all chained up and hanging out somewhere in the demon realm as well, because I guess they took them to the demon realm.
Yep, they're also in Edom. Edom's world. Like
Edom's world, and we're all just living in it.
Edom's world. The gang looks for a place to rest for the night. A winged demon latches onto Jace and tries to carry him up into the sky, so the gang has to attack this thing. They find a cave with a gate featuring protective runes. Very convenient.
So convenient that they found a cave with protective runes right when they got to Edom.
Yeah, the gate's a little rusted, but they're gonna bunk here for the night. And I gotta say, this cave is poppin'. Sounds awesome. Simon and Isabelle, they see a city on a cliff off in the distance, kind of a boring route. But Jace and Clary, while they're exploring the cave, they find an underground pond, river, lake.
Wow, this cave has everything. The only thing it's missing is a cool mall that they can all go hang out in.
Exactly. And Alec has wine, which apparently I think they were supposed to use for their wounds, but why not have like vodka?
Wine? Okay, I would love a doctor to confirm this for me. I do not think wine would be good for a wound.
No, I always
There's too much
thought
sugar in it. That's bad, right?
I thought it was a clear kind of, I always thought it was vodka was used.
Yeah,
to
like I feel like you're supposed to use like a high proof alcohol, right? And like wine is like 13% per, like,
No, I don't think red wine would help if I was bleeding from my leg.
No, it's gonna help because you have to use the whole bottle to get any sort of disinfectant properties, and then it seeps into your bloodstream and you're drunk as fuck.
You're right. At least I get to be hammered as I bleed out and die.
Let's check in with Jocelyn. We find out where she's at, which is another area of Edom where she's being kept as prisoner, and she is tied to a stone. Sebastian's gonna walk in and talk to her and be like, "You were never my mom. Why didn't you love me?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not your mom." And he's like, "Oh, fuck, you got me there."
Oh, damn, I really didn't see this going poorly for me.
And I love that during this he makes a phone call to Gia Penhallow and is like, "Hey, so just checking in about the Clary and Jace situation."
He does, and she is like, "We're actually not going to send them your way." And he's like, "Great news, because I tricked you. I know they're here. They went here on their own, so I guess I'm going to attack you anyways."
Yeah, he's like, "By the way, this is a long distance call and it's costing you a fortune." And then he hangs up.
You better check your Verizon bill at the end of the month, because it's going to be fucking crazy. Yes, he says that they are going to attack. Doesn't matter. Maya goes to make a pact with Marine, and here's the crazy thing I did not look up. There is like a Ferris wheel in the middle of Times Square, which makes me think they went to the toy store that used to be Toys R Us that was in Times Square. There used to be a massive Ferris wheel in there, but I thought that shut down in 2005, and these are in like 2015. I don't know. But anyways, enough about the Ferris wheel. Maya is going to kill Maureen by putting holy water in her veins, and Maureen is going to drink her blood. And now Lily, random character, she is going to be in charge of the New York Coven, and they are going to bond together, vampire werewolf, to take down Sebastian.
And I do have to say, in my unprovoked opinion, I think it's lazy writing to have a character named Lily after you just had Lilith the demon at the end of the 2 books ago, and she's been mentioned constantly. We don't need 2 characters named Lily. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jace and Alec have one of many heart-to-hearts that they're going to have in this book about being like, "You're my best friend. No, you're my best friend."
Yeah,
Meggie and I have those all the time, but we live in real life, so that makes sense.
So true. I said that they're having an "I love you, brother" off. Aww. I love you, brother. No, I love you, brother. No, I love you, brother.
It's a big "I love you, no homo."
I love you, no homo. Exactly. Because, again, Alec needs to be reminded that Jace isn't in love with him.
Yeah.
multiple times. Jace needs to remind him that.
Exactly. And I don't really understand how this next bit happens because, in my opinion, they're in this like cave that's protected, but
Yeah.
a weeping demon disguised as Magdalena, the person that Jace killed, this last book that was an Iron Sister, shows up and she's like crying, being like, "How could you kill me?" Jace is able to burn her with his heavenly fire, but like the fire consumes him essentially, so if there's too much fire, so Clary has to go into the fire because she can do that somehow, and she's able to like help him get it under control, and then Jace walks out being like, "I'm good, I understand how to control the heavenly fire now."
Yes, and all of his friends are like, do you want to tell us? And he goes, no, just trust me.
Yeah, I feel like Cassandra Clare couldn't think of like how to like make that click, so she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna tell everyone that he figured it out."
Yes. Mark's message warning the consul about the fairy queen betrayal has finally gotten through the consul, so they know not to trust the fairies. And somehow, in a way that I was confused, but I think I understand, Sebastian has transformed. So what Edom looks like is like evil Alicant, that the city in Idris. And everything is the same as the city, but it's evil. But then at
Yeah.
points they start indicating that it is Alicant, so I didn't know if they'd already won.
Yeah. What they kind of what I interpreted and what I believe they explained it as is like like he's built a mock Idris in Alicante, or mock Alicante in Idris that's essentially a mirror
Yeah.
into the real Alicante, so he can essentially like cut a little hole and be like, "This is what's happening in the real Hall of Accords right now."
Yeah, so that's what it's going to be. And the gang has come up with this idea that maybe if they destroy the evil infernal cup, they can kill the Undarkened all at once, because
Yeah.
the idea of saving all of these Shadowhunters, it's been abandoned. They are just
Yeah.
gonna kill them.
I really thought like the plot was going to be like, we're going to save these people, but it's more like we're not gonna save these people. We're gonna just like say fuck it, they're screwed, I guess.
I know, it's crazy. Sorry, my mic just went nuts.
No, it's okay. I can hear it a little bit. Do you need a second?
Oh, that's better.
Yay!
Did that work?
It works. Do I keep it in or do I keep it out? We're gonna find out when I release this episode.
That's so thrilling. Did you hear that? You
I
did
did.
it?
It was great. It was like a big buzz. I wish we were talking about something more climactic to kind of go with that sound effect. That would have been cool.
I know. So sorry, everyone. I got drunk and accidentally dropped my mic a little bit ago. And then I lost my job, so I'm not gonna buy a new mic for a little bit.
That's new job money. Sebastian is somehow taking Jocelyn around what he's like built in Edom. So he's gonna be like, and here's my throne room for me and for your daughter who I'm in love with. And I'm also planning to destroy the world. And oh look, I see Jace's fire off in the distance, which like it doesn't really make sense like how far everything is away, because they're able to see like the heavenly fire that's going on. Again, it's not fully explained in my eyes, so like I'm doing my best here.
No, yeah. The gang gets to the evil Accords Hall, and that's when they realize they're in a mirror dimension. No Shadowhunters ever existed in this world, and they find a statue holding a sword that Jace, without a second guess, is like, I need that sword. So he gives his sword to Alec to hold. He starts climbing up. He grabs the sword. Shocker, it's a trap, and all these demons show up and attack them. Isabelle's leg gets hurt pretty bad here. She's bleeding out. Everyone's freaking out. But Simon opens his vein and pours blood, not wine, into her and essentially saves her life.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Period.
So Sebastian's now checking in with his other prisoners, and Raphael's like, I will join you, Sebastian. And Sebastian's like, cool, you can join me if you kill Magnus. And Raphael's like, nah, I can't do that. I owe Magnus my life. So that's crazy.
Yeah, Sebastian kills him.
Yeah.
Doesn't even give him a minute.
Bummer.
Simon has to drink blood. Again, he keeps forgetting he's a vampire. He's got to drink blood. So everyone goes around being like, you can drink from me. And he decides to pick Alec. I would pick Clary, my best friend.
Yeah, I think I do need to emphasize here that Simon does say, I brought blood, but all the bottles broke while we've been doing all of this. So I think it's so funny to think he packed like a bunch of glass bottles of blood. Like, yeah, of course those were gonna break if you just were running around in a backpack with glass bottles in them.
He's not our smartest
What
buddy.
is also awful while Simon is sucking on Alec's blood, he's talking about how sexual this all is, and it's weird as fuck.
Wait, is Simon or is Alec?
I forget who it was, but like, I think
remember.
it's Alec.
I think it is too, because Alec keeps being like, ugh, don't get a crush on me. And then Simon makes like one offhanded joke about being like, why wouldn't you want me to have a crush on you? I'm so cute. And then Alec's like, because all straight men think that gay men have a crush on them. And I was like, I feel like you're projecting. To me, it seemed like Simon was just kind of joking. What's going on? Do you have a crush on Simon? What is happening?
Weird. So fucking weird. Jace wakes up Clary in the middle of the night because he wants to go take a bath in the cave lake that exists in this book.
Yeah, so they're gonna take off their clothes down to their underwear. They're gonna go in the water. He has tempered his little heavenly fire, so they're gonna make out because they can make out now. And then they get out and they decide what a better place to have Clary lose her virginity than in sand. You know, because isn't that a great way to lose your virginity?
Isn't that gorgeous? So they're gonna lose her virginity on a pile of clothes in the sand in a
he
demon cave.
He just has a condom, which begs the question: does he just carry it around? Do all boys when they're teenagers just carry it around? Actually, I think they do.
Should I ask Nick? I'll ask Nick after this episode.
There was somebody who lost their virginity to me, and they had been carrying around a condom that they got in Italy for about 2 or 3 years, and I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll try.
Condoms do expire. A friendly warning from your friendly parabatai that hosts this podcast.
That's true.
Yep. Okay, I do have to mention something that I also just thought of, because technically, since this like lake is in a cave and they're technically in an enclosed area, do you think the sounds of them having sex echoed throughout the cave?
For sure. Actually, yes, I really do think that it got back to the main place.
Because everyone's being kind of like, we know what you guys were just doing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then also, I think that a horniness is pervasive because Simon and Isabelle wake up and they decide to start making out, not as aggressively as Jason clearly.
They end with an I love you rather than a sex, so.
That's so true. War times tomorrow. No one to kiss Alec. Sorry, we know how badly he wants to kiss Simon.
And like Alec's basically like, I'll take whoever I can get. I'll take Simon, I'll take Alec, like, or I'll take Jace.
I'll take Alec. So they go over what they're gonna do for war the next day. They agree they're going to jump 5 and darkened, take their robes, sneak into the city undetected. And they do. They fully kill 5 people for their robes.
Yeah.
And they make their way to the Accords Hall. As soon as they're there, Sebastian is like, okay, I knew you guys were coming. This isn't a surprise. This isn't a shock to me.
Yeah, Alec tries to catch him by surprise and shoot an arrow at him. He catches it midair. And then all hell breaks loose. The demons enter, and Sebastian's like yelling at them, like as they're all like flying around, being like, okay, everybody just don't kill Clary. Everyone else is fair game.
You can kill anyone, just not Clary. Clary somehow jumps up, draws a portal that, okay, I don't understand.
This was confusing. I have to tell you.
Jace gets through the portal to, I would assume, the lobby of the Hall of Accord to grab the weapon from the Jonathan Shadowhunter statue in the other room. And this statue is essentially like Thor's hammer, where he just hits the ground with it and all the demons die. He just kind of blasts them away.
Yeah, like it's called a Skeptron. I think that's supposed to be something we know.
Yes. Sebastian is like, ooh, I'm gonna go kill the hostages now, and he runs off, so the gang has to split up like in Scooby-Doo, so they gotta go find the hostages.
They find them so fast. It's very convenient.
Yeah.
They find Magnus and Luke, and yeah, is gonna be great.
Yeah, they do, but Magnus is feeling kind of ill because he's not supposed to be in this dimension because this is his dad's realm, and for some reason that makes him feel sick.
Yeah, we do have to mention that, like, while this is going on, we get like a side by side point of view with like the war that's going on in Alicante. But since no characters we care about are in Alicante, it felt like a weird thing to read that I was like, well, I don't really give a shit what's going on in Alicante because, like, all of the characters are in the demon realm.
That is so true. All you have to know is that the Shadowhunters are kind of losing right now.
Yeah.
So Clary and Jace stumble upon Sebastian's throne room, and he tosses Jace against a wall. He motions to the throne, being like, Clary, they are losing and Alec can't. I will have my troops leave. Idris, if you just sit on the throne for me, and I'll leave your friends alone, I guess.
And he also says, he says this so many times, he's like, and also the paths out of the demon dimension are going to be destroyed, and I love you. And basically, if you rule with me, I'll stop the war in Alicante.
And she takes the throne.
Yeah.
She does it. She's going to walk up there. He's going to close the walls, so they are going to be completely cut off from the outside world, the other dimension. The other dimension's going to be fine.
This isn't explained. He's also like, and also once the borders close, I live forever. It's like, that doesn't make sense, but okay.
He's going to live forever. He's going to be so powerful. Closing walls are pretty bad news for a dying Magnus on this planet, and the planet's now crumbling as it seals them in. So everyone's kind of heralded to the throne room. And damn, everyone is so betrayed by Clary's choice to sit on the throne. Yeah. They're not expecting that.
But they have no other choice. They kneel before her. And Sebastian's like, finally, like, he announces it like 4 times, like, the borders are going to close, you guys. The borders are going to close, you guys. And once Clary sits
10-minute warning.
And once Clary sits her ass down on this throne, he's like, okay, the borders are closed. Borders are closed. No one's in, no one's out.
So Jace gives Sebastian permission to have Clary because that's how women work.
Yep.
And
gotta pass that baton.
You gotta pass it. That's my favorite part of getting into a new relationship is the ex transferal. You gotta get them on the phone. You gotta have my ex give my new girlfriend or boyfriend permission to date me. I love it. It's like my favorite.
It's my favorite. Yeah, it's a really, really like wonderful ritual that we all have to go through.
It's so awesome. And if they say no, I guess I'm still single, and then my exes are in their relationships.
Yep.
Because I guess that means that I gave approval. Wow, I'm kind of a nice person, aren't I?
Yeah.
So Sebastian is thrilled. He's like, yippee! It's my turn to kiss my sister. So he makes his sister kiss him. And what is she going to do? But she has her Morgensen sword. She's going to stab him with it. She stabs him through the chest. And let's go over how this works. Because he's gotten stabbed a million times. And even saying it out loud, I don't understand. I don't remember why this one sticks. Is it just the betrayal?
Because back in the cave, when Jace was having his mini fire freak out and Clary had to help him contain it, she was able to make a rune that trapped all of Jace's heavenly fire in her Morgenstern blade. So when she stabs Sebastian, who's now invincible, he's not invincible to heavenly fire. So he basically is stabbed with a blade of the angels now and is gonna die.
He's going to die, but before he does that, he is going to transform into the normal version of himself, which is Jonathan. He has green eyes, like Meggie Gates. Evil.
Wow, Meggie, are you Jonathan?
Maybe I am. I am.
And what we also get is Sebastian having, unfortunately, the longest death I've ever seen. While Jordan's death was a simple sentence, Sebastian/Jonathan's death is about 20 pages of him being like, and I apologize for this. And this is what's going to happen now.
This really does feel like when you're trying to be onboarded to a new job and you know that your boss has maybe 5 minutes to explain the entire job to you. So you're like, what do you do? And she's like, okay, so I shattered the bridge to the real world. There really is no way home. Write this down. You're going to throw the infernal cup into the ring of runes. It's going to kill all the Endarken. So sorry. And he does keep apologizing. He's like, I can't believe what I did, which felt so Green Goblin of him.
Yeah.
To be like, what have I done?
He's like, I'm so sorry. I kept wanting to fuck you, Clary. That was so freaking weird.
It was so weird of me to do. But so he dies. Oops. R.I.P.
He's dead.
fake out Magnus's dad, who is, again, the ruler of this realm. He actually can help them. So he is like, I guess I'll call my dad. I really don't want to. But he does. And his dad is Amadeus?
Amadeus.
Amadeus? Yeah, one of the 9 princes of hell.
And he's the ruler of Edom, which makes no sense because wasn't Sebastian / Jonathan supposed to be the ruler of Edom? Because like he's like the Dark Lord, so that was weird.
I know, I don't remember
right?
because he was fine with letting him stay for some reason, but I don't know what he got out of it.
Yeah, because like there was a throne room. He was supposed to be the ruler of the realm, and now it's like, well, he's the ruler of the realm. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
But to show his powers, Amadeus is going to send Luke and Jocelyn back like instantly. He's like, look, I did the first 2 for free, but I want something to send the rest of you. And then we get a long few pages of them being like, Magnus, we'll take your immortality and then you'll be human and you can go back to New York. And then Simon being like, no, take my immortality and then I'll be human again and you can have that to fuel the realm.
Yes, because if Magnus is made mortal, then all of his years of being alive will catch up to him. He's 400 years old. He's going to die. Simon's only 17, and 17's kind of a sexy age to be. So Simon's okay with becoming human again. But the kicker is the demon wants his memories too, because it feels too easy to just make him mortal, I suppose. So yeah. Simon's not going to remember any of them, their time together, not even Clary.
That's a bummer, because he knew her before he became a vampire and before she was a Shadowhunter.
I know.
But the deal is done. Amadeus zip zap zops his magic into everybody. He sends them all back to Idris. No Simon. He gets back to New York. And no more battle in Alicante. That ended when everything else ended a few pages ago. And I know what you're thinking. It's page 637. How is there still 90 pages left in this book? And that's what Meggie and I are about to tell you. Because we get an aftermath scene of basically Kaylee from the fairy court being reprimanded for all the bad shit that the fairies did. And she has no choice but to accept the terms and conditions that they do not get weapons anymore and they have to pay a lot of money to everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled about that. Magnus is really trying to get that to not happen because he's like, all this hate is just going to breed another war.
Yeah,
but
like, that happened in ancient Rome, you guys. And they're like, fuck off, Magnus.
Fuck off. And he's like, I've been around forever. I know my history. Clary flings, which I think is so funny, a box of Jonathan's ashes. I don't imagine her scattering them, but chucks it into Lake Lynn. And then Jace and Clary go to the Herondale Manor where he's like, I think it's time to accept my last name as Herondale. And you know what? Someday I'm going to give you this house. This is going to be our house.
Okay, they're not even boyfriend girlfriend yet. Jesus. Magnus, they're not. They haven't defined their relationship at all. Magnus and Alec get back together, and for Magnus to show how serious he is about Alec, he's been writing a book about his life. So he gives that to Alec so he can know more about him, which I thought was kind of narcissistic, but okay.
I was just going to say, I wish I was so avoidant that someone's like, I'm going to break up with you. And I'm like, okay, fine. I guess here's my memoir that I finally felt compelled to write.
I don't want to answer any questions about myself. Everything you know has been written down in this book.
No, I guess because having a conversation is too intimate. So how about you read this on your own time, and if you have follow-up questions, I'll write another book.
Don't ask any follow-up questions. Clary and Isabelle talk about how much they miss Simon. Clary tells like Isabelle about how she tried to call Simon and he didn't remember her. Sad. So it was a big bummer.
Yes, and then we're in the epilogue. It says May 2008 makes me wonder, how are they feeling about the financial crisis? Because I'm pretty sure Occupy Wall Street is happening in New York, but that's real mundane problems.
They're kids. They're Shadowhunters. It's been 6 months since everything went down. And Clary, of course she is, still trying to kind of find Simon and their usual like haunts that they go and hang out with at and like just see if he remembers her. He doesn't.
And I do like this because she goes to talk to him and she goes, you don't know me, but we grew up together and my mom's getting married and she would have really liked you to be there today. And it's like, whoa. Who are you?
Yeah, he's like, I'm good, but maybe if you want to come see my band sometime. But his flyer for his band says his band's name is the Mortal Instruments. And this is enough. Yes. This is enough for Magnus to say, there's something inside him that remembers. So I'm going to give him my pitch. Sharks, I have an idea.
Sharks, I have an idea. He goes to where Simon's sitting on a stoop and is like, I can turn you into a Shadowhunter and you can maybe remember some of the stuff that happened to you. The Clave needs new Shadowhunters. they're gonna welcome you. They lost a lot.
And he's like, and he doesn't explain, but a Shadowhunter basically means you're sentenced to an early death and you have to fight demons all over the world. Which is like, that's the trade-off.
He's just basically pitches it to the 17-year-old being like, they're the kind of people that they write stories about, which to me I'd be like, I'm actually the main protagonist. He's basically
recruiting him for the army, being like, the army's a pretty cool place when you think about it.
We want you. So it's Jocelyn and Luke's wedding day. Simon does show up because Magnus allowed him to remember those few memories, but couldn't allow all.
Yeah, so like they're coming in little waves right now. So he does remember Clary a little bit. He remembers Isabelle a little bit, so they're gonna dance. And then Clary meets this warlock, I think, Tessa, who gives her the Herondale ring that she got from the Herondales, so she can give that to Jace.
Yeah, and then the book ends with the gang all going down to the lake at Luke's, opening their mouths and screaming. And it just ends. Could you imagine that's actually how it is?
Like, hey, let's all go hang out at the lake, and then they all just scream.
But no, but they are at the lake, and I think that they're just looking out over the lake.
Yeah, they're just hanging out at the lake. That's the end. Wow. And that brings us to a very important top 5 that is not going to come as a surprise to you listeners, which is the top 5 least impactful moments in this book that should have been very impactful, but they did not land or hit in any way, shape, or form.
And there were a lot that we excluded from this list, I would like to say.
I could talk about this for 20 minutes, yeah.
I know. Coming in at number 5, this was dropped like way, I think in the epilogue. Jace's dad was in love with Alec's dad, which makes you have to wonder if gay is generational.
Wow.
Makes you think.
Number 4 is Magnus's dad being revealed. Like, we've been hinting at it for a few books, and then it's like, oh, it's this demon. And it's like, we've never heard of this demon at any point in time. Okay, sure. So it really just didn't have the payoff that I think it was supposed to.
No, absolutely. Number 3, Jordan's death. We passed over it so fast.
No one talked about Jordan in the epilogue. Like...
Oh my god, they really didn't. It was like...
I don't even think Maya was in the epilogue. Maya's just like there now.
What's so funny is I have a friend named Mia, and I keep spelling her name Maya because of these books, and she asked me today, she's like, are you mad at me? Why do you keep spelling my name wrong?
That's so
And I'm like,
funny.
no, I'm so sorry. I've known you for 2 years, but I'm so deep in this book.
Number 2, Sebastian becoming Jonathan when he died. I feel like this was supposed to be like a full circle, like they're a family moment, but it really was more confusing than anything else.
It really is. And then number 1, Simon's memory being washed away, him becoming a Shadowhunter. It was just too much. It was too much that was offloaded in this book for any of it to stick.
I wish if they wanted to do the Simon's memory wiping, they should have done it a book ago. I feel like that would have been more impactful. But like to have it like happen and then be resolved in like less than 80 pages later, it's just like it was like, okay. This is a 700-page book.
And then have other plot points happen after it. I don't give a fuck about them anymore. Now I want to know about his mind being wiped. Why do I care about how the rest of the book wraps up?
That's so interesting.
They had like 10 more pages on the LA Institute. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Talk to me about Simon.
Yeah, literally, we need to drop the LA Institute. We don't know what the LA Institute is like. It doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Well... That is Cassandra Clare's Mortal Instruments, and if you want to express grievances or even tell us we were wrong, email us at meggieandlaurapresent@gmail.com. I'm unemployed, so I'm posting on YouTube now. You ever heard of it? You ever heard of YouTube made famous by Bo Burnham in 2008? Well, we're on there. That's for sure. Slowly, I'm trying to offload everything we've ever owned, and... yeah, that is going to be it from us until we have our wrap up next week.
Yeah, no, we're going to keep things trucking. Now that Meggie has so much time to read, we're going to pick up another season, I'm sure, so fast.
And yeah, we actually breaking news, Meggie and Laura LLC has picked up Meggie and Laura present Meggie and Laura's podcast. Yeah, we read it for another season. Tell deadline we picked ourselves up.
Amazing news. The fans are rejoicing. I hear Meggie and Laura are pretty happy about it too.
We love being picked up for another season by ourselves.
That's so funny. All right. Well, we did it, gang. Thank you for listening, and bye.